Hello everyone, since the holiday season is in full swing and Christmas is just around the corner, I figured I'd do another list of game recommendations for games to play around the holidays before everything was done. Keep in mind that I mainly recommend what I find interesting, not just what I find good or bad, so your mileage may vary a little in this list, but you definitely won't forget the experience with any of these games. With that in mind, here are 7 games I feel are perfect to play around the holidays, starting with Kirby's Epic Yarn. Being completely honest here, Kirby's Epic Yarn is my favorite Kirby game ever made, which is impressive because it doesn't have a single cosmic horror in it. Kirby's adventures through the world of Yarn is both fun and heartwarming, with the adorable art and cute and downplayed soundtrack making it perfect comfort food. The winter themed levels also have a great holiday style charm to them that I think is worth going through if you need to get into the seasonal mood. The mechanical changes to focus on manipulating things with Kirby's Yarn also results in a more relaxing time overall, unless you aim to find every single bead, which is very difficult, unlike what you've been told. And it also has a 2-player co-op mode where a friend can control a yarn prince and help you travel through the arts and crafts land. It's fun for the whole family, you can't go wrong. Yakuza 2. If you need something a bit more mature, then try the Yakuza series for a spin. The first 2 games in the series all take place around Christmas time, with the cities you visit covered in Christmas trees and Santa hat wearing advertisers. I say the second game wins out overall by embracing the holiday season a bit more in its themes, and an ending scene that plays out with an actual Christmas song in the background, but it also gets a recommendation over the first just for the sheer difference in quality. Keep in mind I'm talking about the PS2 originals and not the Kiwami remakes that came out recently. The originals have really interesting atmospheric effects that you can only find on the PS2 era, and they have a completely different soundtrack that I overall prefer. 2 still holds up remarkably well and has widescreen support, so if you track down a copy or if it's on the PlayStation Network, it's well worth your time. Nothing quite gets you ready for the season like bashing a North Korean mafioso's face in with a bicycle. Scar the Doll. I'm sure this is the recommendation the least of you know about, so let me fill you in. Scar the Doll is a 1999 visual novel written by Hidehisa Miyashita, the scenario writer for Folklore, an obscure PS3 JRPG that has a bit of a cult following that I've been interested in playing for a very long time now. Scar the Doll shows a lot of themes Folklore ended up exploring in a very different context, using a thriller plot based around a girl trying to find her missing sister at a very shady research lab. There's a lot of clunk in the design proper, including a lot of bad-end traps you won't see coming, but I feel the game makes up for it with the exploration of bonds, memory, family, and other such human nature topics. The Christmas trappings here and there feel justified because of this, and the game ends up ending on a note with an idea that fits in well with the season of world peace and goodwill towards men. Check out the recently translated version on PC and avoid the iOS port and its very unfitting new art assets. VA11 Hall A. I will recommend this game forever and that will never change. Another game taking place around the holiday season, VA11 Hall A is a cyberpunk slice-of-life visual novel about a bartender named Jill trying to make a living and chatting with her customers while some serious revolutionary chaos is going on just outside her home and bar. While there's a lot in this game I can mention, like the brilliant bartending mechanics that require you to pay close attention to succeed, the real meat of the game is the stories of the various people Jill meets and her own drama that pops up halfway through the game. It's a game all about finding beauty and meaning in a dying world, and the holiday trappings fit in well thanks to the running focus on family, forgiveness, and small deeds having huge impacts on others in unexpected ways. Not to mention the gorgeous sprite art used to create a really thick atmosphere. VA11 Hall A is a stylish game, but it's also one with a lot of substance. Nelson Tethers, Puzzle Agent 1 and 2. Murder sure is a running theme on this list, huh? Puzzle Agent is a bit different from the majority of this list as there's no holiday theming in it, and the themes at play have nothing to do with those warm, hopeful feelings. Instead, it's a conspiracy-themed mystery story mixed together with a mountain of dark comedy, whispering gnomes, and a whole lot of snow and a corpse here and there. It's Fargo mixed with a dash of Twin Peaks, and it has an atmosphere all its own that fits well into this time of year, if not in the usual ways, especially in its ability to create loneliness and vulnerability. It's also a fun puzzler in general, Plus, it makes a great introduction to the bizarre work of Graham Annabelle, who I feel more people need to know about if you want your concept of reality constantly challenged. If this is available, pick it up as soon as possible because it's a Telltale game and it may not be around for much longer at this rate. Still Life. Microids was on fire in the 2000s when it came to point-and-click adventure games, and Still Life might be their crowning jewel in terms of sheer atmosphere. The story of an FBI investigator tracking down a serial killer who might have a history with her grandfather is both shockingly violent and goofy as all get out, and it manages to be engaging in ways that description would not originally suggest. What makes the game a real classic for me, though, is the absolute gorgeous environmental design, some of the best in the company's history, which I do not say lightly considering they are responsible for Siberia 1 and 2. The mixtures of dark tones, white, blues, and reds make some of the most eye-catching places in video game history, both able to be incredibly threatening and safe and inviting. There's also a major puzzle in the game where you decipher a recipe so you can make your dad Christmas cookies, so hey, that's pretty in the season. Few game worlds feel as alive as Still Life's, and that's still impressive just due to how few NPCs there actually are in the game. The world just feels really lived in. Saturday Morning RPG. I wanted to end this list strong, and I can think of no better game to do that than Saturday Morning RPG. It's a fun, episodic, turn-based RPG drenched in 80s and 90s kitchen nerdiness, and it actually manages to improve a lot and comment on the material that adores so much, to the point that they actually hired the man who performed the touch from the Transformers movie to compose the soundtrack and even create a new power ballad for it. I'm not making any of that up. The Paper Mario style mechanics get to be really fun as the game goes on, and the badges you find that give you more powers get more complicated inputs, but the real charm is the silly, sincere absurdity on display, especially in the Christmas special chapter. You need to play this part of the game on Christmas because it is just the absolute most of everything it tries to be. One of the missions you get is to learn the true meaning of Christmas. It actually says that on the screen. Please do not miss out on this. That's it for now. I started a new Let's Play channel, so go ahead and check that out. It should be on this screen here or in the description. And I will have 2 different Christmas episodes coming out soon. One on Scar the Doll the week before Christmas on Friday, and one for special surprise for Christmas Eve. I'll get the Lauren episode of Erevan Travels done eventually. Please be patient, and I'll make another one of these if I ever get the itch to do so. Till then, have some happy holidays, and see you next video.